whooping Memphis's ass. I thought Memphis was gonna beat my team this year. What's up, y'all? Come on in here slowly. Come on in here. As I sprinkle my reefer. As I sprinkle my reefer with mullein. What up, Big Pimpin'? What's up, Markeith? You spell your name like a Bible verse. Markeith, not Marquise. I'm Markeith. Nigga be like, he called in to work, nigga be like, Markeith cometh to work on timeth. Like, thou shall not say anything wrongeth to Markeitheth. That brother's name is in Old English. Yeah. What's up, Quan? Tickets for Dallas is on sale. I should have it in the description box. Hey, Quan, and also tomorrow night, Comedy Chateau, me and Larry, go to my Instagram profile and hit the link tree. The ticket links for both LA tomorrow and Dallas next week are on sale now. Yeah. That motherfucker AD is balling on defense, boy. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Carolyn Bryant, the old degenerate bride. Got away with getting she got away with getting Emmett Till killed. There's no other way to cut it. We're not gonna be in tour in Knoxville. Hey, if I can get 400 people in Knoxville to come out and see me, I'll go. I don't know how many fans I got in Knoxville, nigga. It might just be you and a couple former members of Tennessee Vols when Peyton Manning and T. Martin were quarterback. And they playing with the Lakers right now. I mean, Lakers are playing with them. You said, "What's up with the Taharka Bay cat?" I don't know. I don't follow Taharka Bay. Well, why? What's going on with him? I don't. Like, I be hearing shit. You know, whenever I catch a Tariq show, he'll say something about Taharka Bay here or there, but I don't pay any attention to Taharka Bay, so I don't know if I'm the right person to ask about what's going on with Taharka Bay. I don't subscribe to his channel. I don't listen to anything he says. Taharka Bay is living in his own world, and I'm living in mine. Hell, when I was out there for the FBA rally, I didn't even know who Taharka Bay was at that time. They were like, when I was there, people were like, Taharka Bay's here. I was like, who the fuck is Taharka Bay? And then people told me, it was like, oh. And then I went and looked at my phone. I was like, oh, this guy. I don't believe in, my personal preference. I don't like, the only people I listen to are on here or really anywhere are people that have information. I don't listen to people who sit around and troll other people. Like, and even if it's one of those episodes of somebody who I do listen to regularly, if it's an episode to where they're trolling someone else, it's a 90% chance I won't watch that one. I don't see the point. But if it's funny, I'll take that back. I have heard seen some of Tariq's trolls at the Taharka Bay, and that shit was funny as fuck. Like, if you can make it funny, if you can make it real funny, I'll watch. But even when I watch, when I'm done laughing at whatever you done did, whoever you talked about, I done forgot about whatever happened within 3 minutes, and I'm back to living my life. I don't pay attention to these niggas on the internet. You say you just found out your doctor listens to New Black Media. That's what's up. Who's everywhere? Hey, bro, Bilbo, you giving way too much attention to Archibald. Like, I don't give a damn if he's trying to. No disrespect to you. I'm not saying this to say anything bad about you, Billy Bo, but I'm just saying I don't give a damn what Archibald's doing to sabotage it. He can do what he wants to do. There's literally nothing I can do if he wants to make whatever calls he has to make to sabotage whatever he has to sabotage. There's literally nothing I can do. So why worry about it? Why even give him mental headspace? It's not my event. I'm gonna throw a comedy show that weekend, but I ain't got nothing to say. And what's up, 225 girl? And that's how it should be. You know, people say what they have to say in protest or whatever, for whatever reason they have to say it, and you gotta look at it as, okay, that person said whatever they said, and that's what it is, and on to life from there. Nothing really to pontificate over. But back to what we're talking about. I'm over here trying to give y'all more time to come up in this room watching this Laker blowout. I'm glad because I was going to announce the Laker game. I'm glad I didn't because, shit, that's a blowout. Ain't nothing to announce. So, I ain't put my hoodie on. Then once my hoodie is on, I'm going to step out onto the porch and we're going to get started. Once my hoodie is on, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to make myself a damn drink. Hold up. I got some ginger ale over here. Let me get this ginger ale. Comedy Chateau tomorrow. Salute to Tashina Arnold. She done reposted my flyer for the show for tomorrow on her IG. She's dope as hell for that. Like, thank you, Tashina, for reposting my show. A few more tickets done sold since then. Helping a nigga push tickets. Let me get some of this ice. I was gonna do wine, but tomorrow it's me and Larry, Comedy Chateau. We about to get started in 1 minute. As soon as I fix his drink, we gonna sit on the porch and we gonna talk about the media protecting Carolyn Bryant. Because Facebook and Instagram took down my post talking about Carolyn Bryant, the lady who caused, well, the rat bitch who caused Emmett Till to die. That rat bitch. They are protecting her on social media, and I want to point it out. I want to talk about this. How they're obviously protecting a murderer. And I'm asking an honest question. Why would you give media any kind of credibility, any kind of entity? Are we giving credit, when we give media credibility, are we giving credibility to entities that protect murderers? This nigga Larry over here knocked out. Hey, Larry, you a hoe. Oh, she ain't coming. Hey, Larry in town for the Comedy Chateau tomorrow. And that nigga Larry didn't sleep at all the night before he flew in. And then yesterday when he got in, that nigga thought he was gonna take a nap. I was like, nah, nigga. Y'all know me, I be out. That nigga did knock the nap in. And he been out. And I had that nigga out last night till like midnight. This nigga Larry didn't get sleep for like 36 hours. So that nigga's up at the crib, knocked the fuck out right now. Oh, hoe ass nigga. See us tomorrow live. I'll come to New York when I can get 400 people to buy a ticket. I don't know where Freeze is. Gotta hit him up. He'll be at my show tomorrow, so if you want to see Freeze, you can come to my show tomorrow, Comedy Chateau. Yeah, but so we're gonna talk about this whole skank, sorry, nothing bitch, Carolyn Bryant. For those of you who don't know, Carolyn Bryant is a skank bitch that lied and said Emmett Till whistled at her, and that lie got Emmett Till killed in 1955. Okay. Hold on, let me see if I can. Hold on one second, y'all. Cool. All right, cool. I was making sure my mic was on voice isolation. Do y'all hear that background noise? Hit the number 1 if it's clear. Hit the number 1 if my mic is clear and it's minimal to no background noise. Cause I hit the number 1 if y'all hear me clearly. Let's get the thank y'all. Let's get the history on Carolyn Bryant, and then we're going to bring it to today, okay? Carolyn Bryant was down in Mississippi, and she lied and said Emmett Till whistled at her, and it caused a major issue. It caused him to get kidnapped, brutalized, and murdered. That's what that action caused. So she was an accessory to murder. She incited a riot. How do I say she incited a riot? The bitch incited a whole civil rights movement. So if you ask me, that's inciting a riot. We never would have known about Emmett Till. So first I have to give, we have to give credit to T.R.M. Howard. T.R.M. Howard was a businessman down there in Mississippi. A rich black businessman who carried a lot of guns, a whole lot of guns. And when Emmett Till was murdered, T.R.M. Howard is the person that notified Jet Magazine about the murder of Emmett Till. And it was he who financed the media coming from Chicago to come down from Chicago to Mississippi to cover and highlight the murder of Emmett Till. That's how Emmett Till became a national news discussion, because of a black man named T.R.M. Howard. So whenever I do these history talks like this, I always like to give credit to key players. So look up T.R.M. Howard. I've talked about him before on the show. He's the black man that financed it, that moved the weight to get Emmett Till, to get his story in the national public eye. So this Carolyn Bryant, what's her name? Carolyn Dumbass Bryant? Something like that? Dumbass? Carolyn Dumbass Bryant? That's her name? Well, that's Skank Bride. She did what white women have been doing since the 1690s. It was in the 1690s. Shut up, nigga. It was in the 1690s that, if you read the book Birth of a White Nation by Dr. Jacqueline Battlora, that's when they started putting penalties on white women for having sex with black men. And so what white women would do when they would get caught with a black man or get suspected of being with a black man, they would holler rape. Because if the white woman basically didn't holler rape or harassment, she would get brutalized and murdered. Okay? So this has been a game that white supremacists have been playing with us for a long time. This has been a game they've been playing with us for a long time, okay? So she did what she did, and she lived the rest of her life. And let me say something real quick. One thing I've been seeing a lot is a whole bunch of apologist Negroes and halfway apologist Negroes. What's an apologist Negro? An apologist Negro are the people who are making excuses for her not getting prosecuted, saying she was old, there's nothing body can do. You know, that was a long time ago. It wasn't that bad. The halfway apologist Negroes are the ones who agree that what she did was bad and it was wrong. But these niggas want to say shit like, well, at least she died. And I saw some nigga told me on Instagram, I think it was on Twitter. He said, well, at least she died in shame. I said, nigga, how the fuck you know she was shamed? Do you ever think maybe that bitch thought she was proud? Carolyn Bryant is a hero to white society, and she knows it. She knew it, and she knows it. She's a hero. She got a black man killed, or a black boy killed, and didn't pay a penalty for it, and lived until old age and died. She's a hero to them. She didn't die in no damn shame. She died proud. That bitch was proud of what she did. Remember, she was the one that was, when they did interview that one time, she said Emmett Till ruined her life. You think she died in shame? The way these crackers get down? You fucking apologist ass Negroes. Stop trying to rationalize shit in your own mind. Well, at least she was guilty. There's no way she could have walked around not guilty. Shit. That bitch look like Tweety Bird's mama. Y'all remember the old lady on the Bugs Bunny cartoons who used to watch Tweety Bird? Now, come on. Sylvester, get away from my cat. Oh, sorry, ugly, degenerate bitch. And I don't even like using the word bitch, but I use it on her, bitch. That's not even my word. But this is where one of those instances where that word applies. Oh, skank bitch. Skank dirty bitch. She didn't die no guilt. Stop saying that, you sorry sons of bitches. Yeah, 225 girl, yeah, she was more protected than the president. This is what tripped me out. When I read that Carolyn Bryant died, I read it in the New York Times. And if you go back and look at the New York Times article on... If you go back and look at the New York Times article on Carolyn Bryant, they had a nice, long, extensive article on her. You know, the whole time I read that article, all I could think was, they've known where she was this whole time. They've known her story this whole time. They've understood her impact this whole time. But the New York Times, LA Times, Washington Post, New York Post, Chicago Tribune, none of them spent any lick of energy framing a narrative calling for her prosecution. Notice that. These liberal newspapers could write up articles on who she was within 5 minutes of her death. But since 1955, what are we in, 2023? How many years is that? That's damn near 70 years, just under 70 years. Well, over 70 years. Oh no. It's 25. Yeah. 55, something 2005 will be 50 years. 2015 will be 60 years. Yeah, just under 70 years. They've known where she was, what she's up to, where she worked. They knew the color of her shit for the last 68 years. And media knows it has the power to make anyone guilty. Look how they did OJ. They made him guilty when there was absolutely nothing in the evidence that showed he was guilty. They just started making up shit and telling a whole bunch of half-truths. Now 80% of the world think he did it. 90% of the world. If they could do that for somebody who didn't do shit, what could they have done to somebody who actually caused a watershed moment in American history? Setting off one of the most violent decade and a half in American history. I encourage y'all. What's up, Tasha? I've been meaning to call you back, Tasha. Tasha, did I call you back? I thought I called you back. I don't know. I've been so goddamn busy this week. Hopefully you at the show tomorrow, Tasha. So when it comes down to it, they didn't use a lick of their resources to call for her prosecution. But the minute she's dead, they can write articles about every inch of her life. Damn near. That's what Dr. John Henry Clark means when he says we have no friends. Everybody want to come along for the ride when we created music. Everybody want to be a part of watching us play basketball and football and act and entertain. Tell jokes. But when we need justice, where are our friends when we need justice? Yeah, you'll get a few fringe white folks out there that I'm talking about systematically. These media stations that so-called Democrat Negroes watch, where are they to help you? Where are all these white folks and people or even black folks that you say you voted for? We've got a black mayor. We got a black police chief. We got a black president. How that shit working out? How that shit working out? What's up, Linus? So it's like everyone's in cahoots. Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal. Everybody was in cahoots protecting Carolyn Bryant. So I made a post on Facebook yesterday and Twitter, and I shared the same post on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Twitter kept it up. It has like 36,000 impressions so far. Instagram took the post down within. The post had about 250 likes within an hour, and then Instagram took it down, and then barred me from going live. And I have a show coming up tomorrow that I got to promote. So, of course I can't go live. They always do that shit when I got something to promote. And then Facebook turned around about 2 hours ago, took my post down, and said, we're going to hide all of your comments to the bottom of the page, to the bottom of the feed for 51 days. How they came up with 51 days, I don't know. All I know is Facebook is going to make it really hard for me to promote my Dallas show, but it's all right. So, that's what it takes. That's what it is with us, as black folks. Those of us who tell the truth, we get banned. We get pushed to the side. Like, I got people I was hitting up about my show coming up tomorrow who follow me on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram, and they had no clue I have a show tomorrow. These are people who love my brand of comedy. So that's what we're going through right now. And you know what else made the death of Carolyn Bryant interesting? Going into my cards, she died. Carolyn Bryant and Jerry Springer both died on a 7 of Clubs day. They both died, and I'm not grouping Jerry Springer with Carolyn Bryant. I'm not. But hear me out. The 7 of Clubs is a card of viral for the wrong thing, like degenerate level viral information, low vibrational, Kardashian, Cardi B style viral, like infamous. 7 of Clubs is a card of infamy. And Jerry Springer, his show was very infamous. That was more, I would say, more lighthearted infamous. With every word, there's always a range in meaning. There's always a range, That's why I don't listen to these fake-ass literal people. How you going to compare? No, there's a range. Just like there's a range, and there's a range in good. Some people are really, really good to you. Some people are just kind of good to you. Some people are really, really evil to you. Some people just don't like you. Everything has a range to it, And so when it comes to degrees, Jerry Springer was on the lighthearted side of degeneracy. Carolyn Bryant was on the most evil side of degeneracy. But both were degenerate. And they both died on the day of the card of the degenerate that goes viral. That's funny. But the funny part about that is Coretta Scott King was born on that day, April 27th. She's a 7 of Clubs. 2. On the high side, 7 of Clubs is the card of justice. The card the 7 of Clubs crosses boundaries either way. It's either going to cross boundaries on some degeneracy, or it's going to cross boundaries on some high level shit. Either way it goes, the 7 of Clubs is going to cross boundaries on the high side and the low side. So what we saw yesterday was an example of the 7 of Clubs. On the high side, you have Coretta Scott King, a woman who's willing to cross the boundaries to make it better for a group of people who's marginalized. And then on the other side, on the low vibration, you got Jerry Springer, who was willing to cross the boundaries of decency on TV. And then you had Carolyn Bryant, who was willing to cross the boundaries of decency as a damn astrological human fucking being. Oh, dirty bitch. What's up, Clot? What's up, Misha Bell? You giving me a mailing list, Tasha? I appreciate it. What's up, C. Vessi? What's up, Shamari? What's up, Bismarck T? By the time, police. What's up, Andrew Como? PCR. What's up, Clot? C. Phillips. We in here. So, excuse me. Shit. Ooh. I guess it wasn't no muddling in that hit. So, Carolyn Bryant is being protected by the media, by the CNN, by MSNBC, by your local news. Hell, what the fuck has BET done to root her out? What has Roland Martin done to root her out? What has the Griot done to root her out? You can't trust none of these fuckers. Can't trust none of these fuckers. Can't trust none of them. So that's where we are with it right now. We as black people, speaking about black and brown, hell, where the fuck is Univision? Did Univision have a Telemundo? Did they have a Telemundo version of get this bitch Carolyn Bryant locked in jail? Nosotros íbamos y nosotros y Carolyn Bryant, nosotros íbamos La Cienega, La Brea, Santa Monica, Santa Barbara, Taco, the Burrito, Papusa. I don't know no fucking Spanish. I just passed the class with a C minus 25 goddamn years ago. I ain't seen or heard of no YouTube clips of the Asian stations going toing 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 Carolyn Bryant toing 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 toing. I ain't heard none of that shit. I ain't seen none of the Middle Eastern stations going yuck 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 yuck. Carolyn Bryant yuck 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 yuck. I ain't seen none of the African stations going Carolyn Bryant Mbutu. Carolyn Bryant. I ain't seen none of that shit. I ain't seen no Fat Joe or any Latino rappers do a song calling for justice for Carolyn Bryant. I didn't see China Mac or any Asian rappers doing a song justice for Emmett Till. Throw that bitch Carolyn Bryant in jail. Where the fuck y'all at? Yeah, where the fuck was Click TV? Where the fuck was Vlad? Where the fuck is No Jumper and Adam 22 been? And hell, where the fuck is DJ Academics been? And where y'all at? Ebro? You talk about this, Ebro? What about all these Latino DJs DJing hip hop music? Where they at? Where they at? Can you name one? Yeah, where's John Leguizamo? That's a good one. Says that motherfucker want to be all up in the mix. Where's John Leguizamo? Where's Jennifer Lopez? Rosie Perez? Where they at? Where was Crazy Legs? Hey, Crazy Legs, run your ass on over to Carolyn Bryant's mortuary and piss on her headstone. Do something worth that you appreciate. Do something to show that you appreciate the culture that you benefit from. Do something. No Power 106 coverage. Where are our friends? See, I got to get back to on my Mixcloud. I just didn't feel like sitting on my computer. Honestly, y'all, because if I were on my Mixcloud show, I would play a song right now. I want y'all to look up this song. It's by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. It's called Where Are All My Friends? I encourage y'all to listen to that song. My dad turned me on to that song when I was like 10. I love my father, man. Me and my dad were just talking like 2 hours ago. I love my dad. My dad called me in the first quarter of the Laker game. My dad was like, the Lakers always got a white boy. When Austin Reeves hit like a step back three, my pops called me. My pops like, man, Lakers always got a white boy. They always giving these white boys a chance. About time they get a good white boy. My dad was like, shit, at least they finally got a good white boy to give a chance to this time. I love my dad. But my father just played this song all the time when I was a kid. We go on road trips to Vegas, and then we in Texas. We might driving around LA. My dad played his tapes, and there's a song called "Where Are All My Friends" by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. And where are all my friends has a disco feel. And on that song, Teddy Pendergrass is saying, he said, I used to lend them my cologne, but they never ever brought it back. And then the Blue Notes sing in the background, something's gonna change him. My life started rearranging. Now I'm all alone. Ain't got no place to lay my head. Wish someone would help me. I need a loan. Where are all my friends? He said, I used to have a lot of money. I had them in big old stacks. He used to let his friends drive his Cadillacs. And then the minute he went broke, nigga, his friends were gone. That's what I miss about music of the 70s, man. I was born in 1981. But I say we because I say that's us as a culture. That's when Gamblin' Huff and Motown and Stax, when black people were making the final, even when there was a white-owned label like Stax, it was still the black people making the final decision on what would get released. The white folks just collected the money. Like the Ohio Players were on Columbia Records. But they basically, if you go back and watch the Ohio Players Unsung, they just left the Ohio Players alone. Like, you have an album due on this date. The Ohio Players would get them an album that date. And they left them alone. And here's my homework assignment for y'all. Thank you, I appreciate that, Quan. It's 2 songs I want y'all to listen to. Where Are All My Friends by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. And listen to another song by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Teddy Pendergrass is talking through 80% of the song. It's a song called Be For Real. It's real bluesy. Hey, lady, I just want to talk to you for a moment. Come on, sit down. You're always talking about the things you got. How much money I got. What car I drive. What school our children go to. Are you for real? And in that song, Harold Melvin says, if you're going to boast around somebody who has what you have. Don't make your own brother and sister feel bad. My daddy turned me on to that song, y'all. My dad used to teach me lessons in life to music. He would turn on some Smokey, some Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, some Earth and Fire, some really Curtis. Curtis and Smokey was my dad's favorite two to turn on to me. My dad, if Curtis Mayfield was on or Smokey Robinson, my dad was about to teach me a life lesson. But these were 2 songs he taught me life lessons to. Where Are All My Friends and Be For Real. Both songs by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. He says, be for real, be humble. Whatever you got, just be yourself. Don't high side on people who got less than you. If you're gonna high side on people who can high side back. Don't be that person that you running the business, you know, or you got a job that pay you, in the mid 6 figures, and all your friends are plumbers and janitors and You make 300,000-400,000 a year. They make 70. You don't high side on them. So go back and listen to both of those songs. Yeah, give thanks. Yeah, I wish I lived in the 70s too. And by the way, get y'all tickets for tomorrow night, Comedy Chateau, me and Larry Goodwell. I appreciate the cash app, Tasha. That's dope. I appreciate that. By the way, get your tickets for tomorrow night, me and Larry Goodwell. Let me tell y'all something. I appreciate Tashina. Cause I'm telling you, yesterday, I was looking at the ticket sales for the show, and ticket sales are going good. Just not how I want it. And she saw my face. She was like, "Man, what's up?" She's like, "Boy, you better do that." I was thinking about canceling the show. I was like, "Why this shit?" Tashina was like, "Boy, the show go on. You better." I was like, "You right." I wasn't gonna cancel the show, y'all. But y'all know how life is. Sometimes you go through these moments to where you're just a little bit discouraged, and your discouragement is based off a false expectation and not being real. And I was like, man, niggas don't get shit to that. Man, since that happened, I think I done sold another like 40 tickets between this time yesterday and now. But I gotta salute to Sheena for keeping a nigga encouraged. I gotta salute her. Yeah, if you in LA, come to the show. Yeah, I'm doing my stand-up show. Me and Larry gonna be going back and forth. The same Larry I be talking shit to in the chat room. Well, he be talking shit to me. I just put his whole ass back in check. That nigga. We gonna be doing a show together. I got Edwanda White coming down, Al Green, and Freeze Love. Freeze is gonna rock that motherfucker tomorrow night. I appreciate that, Ebony. Tip the host, yeah. I gotta pay out my comics tomorrow, so yeah, tip the host so I can pay my comics. Shit. Yeah. But yeah, Freeze Love gonna come on out. It's gonna be fun, y'all. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, so we're talking about Carolyn Bryant, and she got away with murder. But if you don't mind, let's look at this. I just talked about it from a earthly perspective, human. I just talked about it from a three-dimensional perspective. Do you guys mind if I go 4D or 5D on y'all with this? Can we go 5-dimensional? Can I take this and look? Let's look at this. Can we look at this spiritually? I gave you my opinion and point of view from a physical, or in cardology, the diamonds point of view. Now, can I give you a space point of view, a more spiritual point of view? Do y'all mind? All right, let's go there. But more good news though. Before I go there, remember I was telling y'all about me doing some shows in the metaverse? The shit got put on hold because some way bigger names came through to that studio, and the studio had to upgrade its tech. And I understand, I'm Dwan B. I ain't got the following some of these other niggas got. So I kind of got pushed to the back, not to the back, but to the side, because some way bigger names came through, which is fine with me. I'm a humble nigga. Let them go. These niggas, these cats is building my metaverse world and ain't charging me a dime. They just fuck with what I do. So I'm getting the whole metaverse world built right now. But this coming Monday, I'm actually going to do a comedy show in the metaverse. And it will be available to you guys in June, in the middle of June. So Monday I'm shooting a comedy special in the metaverse. So if you have Oculus glasses, or even if you don't have Oculus glasses, you still can watch the show on your web browser. But the show will, if you have Oculus glasses, I'm not telling you my lineup yet, but I got a dope ass lineup because my lineup's not finished yet. But so far my lineup is me, Larry, and Slink. I'm trying to figure out. I called my man David. Y'all know who David Lucas is? I tried to get him down, but that nigga moved to Texas. I thought he still lived in L.A. My man, I called up David Lucas like he still lived here in L.A. And he was like, I'm down, but I live in Texas now. I was like, man, come on. I didn't know your ass moved. My man David Lucas is doing this thing with Joe Rogan. And them white folks is loving him, man. So, man, I'm proud of David Lucas. But I'm getting a few other people to come down to my comedy show in the metaverse. But let's talk about this from a more spiritual point of view. Carolyn Bryant, Emmett Till. Y'all know me. I have a very simple way I look at life, but it's simple to me but complicated to other people. Because most people are so caught up in judgment, they don't see things just for they don't just observe. I've matured to the point to where I just observe life. You know what I mean? I just observe. And I'm not perfect at it. It's certain things I still do judge. But let's look at it from an observational point of view. Carolyn Bryant. Oh, and Quan. Type in DwannB.com. That's my DwannB.com is up. It's not finished, but the shop is up. DwannB.com/shop. All my merch is on DwannB.com/shop. Y'all can still go to Incense and Ashtrays and Hotepish, but everything is on one site now, DwannB.com/shop. Go to that website, DwannB.com. The skeleton site is up right now. The real site is gonna be up. It's gonna be finished like in 2 weeks. But if y'all want to see the skeleton of what it's gonna look like, go to DwannB.com. So, spiritually, what Carolyn Bryant did when she did that lie on Emmett Till was she set off a movement. And another good book to read is a book called We Will Shoot Back. It's a great book to read. That's the book I learned about T.R.M. Howard from. See, in 1955, at the time of Emmett Till, that set off black people actually fighting back, shooting back. We had got docile. Black people were shooting these motherfuckers back in the 1890s, 1910s. We were shooting back. When the 1920s came, after the Roaring 20s, and what went on, we kind of calmed down a lot. We calmed down. We were pacified. We were segregated, but we weren't. We never not really fought back, but it was a time. I liken the 1930s and 40s to the 2000s and the 2010s, the 90s, late 90s through the 2000s, or post-civil rights movement, the 80s in Black America, to where we were just kind of living our own lives. What Emmett Till did was, and you can read it in the book, We Will Shoot Back, the book talks about the black response to Southern violence in Mississippi and how black people like T.R.M. Howard financed Emmett Till story to get told nationally. You had a lot of shooting back. There's one part of that book where they said, like, in the same town, one of the sheriffs was one of the police officers was like real shady, and so the black people had a plan to, like, basically they were trying to trap the police department, and they were trying to get them to come into like one of the houses, and they had made the men, women, and children had gotten together to make crates of cocktail bombs. Like the town got together, pieced their money up, everybody got all the liquor bottles that they had, and they stuffed them with towels, and they were getting ready to firebomb the whole police department. But what happened was some old snitch ass nigga was like, "Don't go down that driveway, Mr. Jimmy." And black folks didn't get a chance to do that. But there's so many other stories. They talk about the deacons of defense in that book. They talk about, in the book, it talks about how the deacons of defense was just one of dozens of black defense organizations that set up patrols for Dr. King. When Dr. King would come, after Selma, black folks set up patrols and made sure Dr. King wasn't touched in Mississippi. Like what happened when Carolyn Bryant did what she did, what happened with Emmett Till, it woke black people back up. It woke America back up. And sometimes, at the end of the day, no group of people is supposed to be dominated forever. We're not supposed to be dominated forever. But some people's lives, some people become, you can use the word martyrs, you can use the word icons, in these watershed moments. Some people become their life, no matter how limited their life was, they live on much further, either in infamy or as an inspiration through what they meant. Emmett Till lived 14 years, but he'll live forever because of that moment. You know what I mean? Like Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was another Emmett Till. Black people were asleep. Obama, we were already asleep when Obama got in office. Obama knocked us all the way the fuck out, 2008, 2009, 10. Trayvon Martin woke us the fuck back up. See, we're humans. God ain't gonna just come in and be like, hey, the Lord, you're not gonna see no fucking angel come down from heaven and be like, be like my nigga Markeith Collins in the chat room. That nigga got that old biblical spelling ass name to Marquise. Be like, you're not gonna see no fucking angel come down from heaven and be like, God saideth, noweth is the timeth that you niggas wake upeth. We get spoken to through moments, through events in history. 9/11 was an event that changed the way the world operates. You know, whether the events are, I'm not going to get into people saying these events were conspired or not conspired. Whatever. I'm not, look, y'all can have that conversation, and I'm down to talk about not the 9/11 conspiracy. You know, a lot of that shit it's a lot to it, you know, but I'm not here to get into that right now. That'd be another thing. Black folks talking about one topic, you always got one dumb nigga in the room that want to explain to everybody what little he knows about one subject just so he can get some fucking attention. You kind of niggas need to sit down. Anyway, so, and I'm not saying it to anybody in the chat room because I ain't looked at the chat room in about 10 minutes. But what I'm saying is this. Our reactions to how we act, that comes through things that happen on a human level. So the way I look at it, as much as a degenerate snail bitch Carolyn Bryant is, who's to say she wasn't incarnated here on this earth to serve that very purpose? Maybe she lived out her path. See, people think, let's go a little even deeper. Can we go a little even deeper? Or scarier to some of you Christian niggas? Every path ain't light. Nigga. Every path ain't rosy and light. No. Some paths are dark. Again, how do we start this discussion? Talking about range. You have ranges of evil. You have range of good. You have some people, You have Martin Luther King level of love, and you have Al Sharpton level of love. I have no doubt Al Sharpton loves black people. I still, to this day, he's an FBI informant. He's the worst representation of us, but I still believe he loves black people. He just loves his pockets and his alignment to white people a little more. I don't think Al Sharpton hates black people. I think he loves us, genuinely in his heart. But I think he loves proximity to white power a little more than he loves us. Doesn't mean he doesn't love us. It just means he loves that a little more. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King loved us to the point of fuck your inclusion. Dr. King got inclusion and said, oh, that was a mistake. I'm sorry, black people. Then crack, crack, he's gone. Rest in peace. I just thought about that. Martin Luther King died April 4th. That means Miss Coretta Scott King was born April 27th. She had to celebrate her birthday 3 weeks after her husband passed. Damn, I just thought about that. That's some cold shit. She was born in 1927. King died in 1968. So what's the math on that? I'm a little, and I've been drinking, y'all, so excuse me. What's that, 40 years? How old is she? 41? I'm 41 now. Damn. She was my age when her husband died. And she had to experience her birthday 3 weeks after the date of his death. That's a soldier. You got Coretta Scott King level of love for black people, and you got Oprah love for black people. Everything has a range. Let's just tell the whole truth. Everybody ain't light, and everybody ain't meant to be light. The darkness has a place too. Evil has a place. Evil will always exist. Mean people, degenerates, sorry sons of bitches will always be a part of the human story. I get so tired of people always saying, man, I wish everybody was good. It's not possible. Matter of fact, nigga, you ain't even good all the time. You the kind of nigga that'll go over somebody's house and shit in their toilet and break that motherfucker and not tell them it's broke. Act like it didn't happen. Then turn around and be like, I wish everybody was good. Everybody's not good. Evil exists. Mean people exist. Murderers live. That shit will always be a part of the story. So when I look at it from a 5D point of view, from a more spiritual point of view, what I see is an intersection that sparked off a ripple effect in the consciousness of a nation that was rotting through its core that needed a little bit of cleaning. Did the civil rights movement clean everything up? No. But you know how it is when you got company coming over the house and your bathroom is fucked up, but you clean the toilet real quick, you clean the countertops just enough so when your company come over, your bathroom don't smell like ass and have loose hair on the back of the sink. You just is the bathroom all the way clean? No. You didn't get a chance to scrub down the shower or wash out or mop behind the toilet, but it's clean enough. That's what the civil rights movement did. It did clean things up in ways because, I have talked to my elders, enough of them, to know that, yeah, it did clean things up. Did it make it perfect? No. Was there mistakes? Yes. But that's another conversation. Her evil caused the good, us. We're the good. We're the positive. We're the light. It woke us up. Before her evil deed, our family, when she did what she did, our ancestors were only 90 years removed from slavery. You don't get out of slavery and have everything be perfect right away. That takes time. You lock down for 250 years, and even before that, your tribes, the other tribes, were involved in these Mississippian wars. The Georgia tribe, hey, what's up, man? The Georgia tribes, the Algonquin tribes in the upper Northeast, having all kind of internal beefs, which allowed these fucking Europeans to take over the Potawatomi people up in Michigan, the Michigan people, the Mesquite, the Muskogee. These was black tribes. The Ohlone here in California, the Blackfoot in Illinois, the Mojave in Southern California. So we were at a down time in our history. And maybe that's the time. Everything has its time and place. Look, man, summer can't be without winter, and we all go through winter in our life. We go through dry winter seasons in our finances. We go through dry winter seasons in our love life. We go through dry winter seasons in our social life, in our work life. Everything has a dry and winter season. Wet, a season of going inside. See, when winter comes in your life, that's a time to self-reflect and look within to see what moves need to be made. But usually we don't get sparked to make moves until something happens around us to spark us. We get fired from a job. It's usually something violent. Getting fired from a job, a bad breakup, losing a friend, a close friend, in an abrupt manner. These are all things that are pointing you back to your greater self during the winter seasons of your life. And now you start working on things, the spring comes, and you start seeing some level of fruit from your labor. And then summer comes, you living high again. And then you fall, kind of settling down, chilling. Then winter comes again. That's just what it is. What makes people think civilizations and races of people on a grand scale, on the grand calendar, don't go through similar cycles in time? Remember, our universe, our planetary system has a 26,000-year cycle around this universe. And we spend about a little over 2,000 years in each sign. And through these cycles and times, there are ups and downs with civilizations, with races of people. We were at a downtime. They were at an uptime. It is what it fucking is. I don't like all this emotional talk. Man, what's wrong with it? Man, look, we lost. We're down. Our ancestors, the last few hundred years, was spending all their time fighting with each other, both here in North America and also over in Africa. They was too busy dick swinging and couldn't get it together. The same in Europe, the Moors. Learn to listen. Why did the Moors get conquered? Because when they were controlling Spain for them 700 years, they was too busy fucking white bitches and partying and doing dumb shit and, dick swinging on other niggas.
And while they dick swinging on other niggas, the white folks took them down empire by empire by empire over a protracted period of time. The same way they took us down here in America. Empire, they started out with the Iroquois folks, the Confederacy up in that Boston, Philadelphia, New York area. They started with them. And the people in the Carolinas. Then they got the Algonquin folks. And then they took time, and then they later on caused all kind of the French was working on the Mississippians while the British was working on the Algonquins and the Seneca people, while the Spanish was working on the Cherokee and the ones further south. And the Dutch and these different European empires were causing all kind of were playing on internal beefs of these native black folks. And through a protracted period of time, they didn't ransack America in 1 year. Shit, they got here in 1619. They didn't totally settle this place until the 1880s, 1890s. Roosevelt that's what he got famous for in the 1880s. It took white folks more time to take control from east to west coast than they've had control of this country. This country's only been in existence for 750 years, 700, damn near, almost 750 years. It's only been in existence that long as a country. And it took damn near 280 years to get from Virginia to Oregon to Sequoia, California. And it still took a nigga to, and think about it, black folks, when they were making their way east to west coast, it still took black people. They don't win the West without the Buffalo Soldiers. That's why it's it was in the 1880s when General Allensworth, a black man, took down the natives in the Sequoia region here in California, a beautiful region I need to go visit again. It took black folks to do that. So even with them getting from east to west coast, they didn't do it on their own. They did it in large part with our help. Another example of us being at a downtime. Why will we ever help these people? We're in a down fucking time as a people. We're in a different age though right now. We're rising back up, coming back up, we're waking back up. We're seeing it. Shit's changing in front of our eyes every fucking day. That was one ugly ass truck that just drove past my house. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what the fuck. Was that a suburban Silverado? I don't know what the fuck that truck was that drove past my house. That shit was ugly than a motherfucker. Nigga looked like he had a Suburban in the front and a motherfucking Silverado in the back. I don't know what I just saw. Anyway, so maybe it was Carolyn Bryant's role to come down here and do some evil shit. Are you gonna tell God she shouldn't have done that evil shit and say, hey, black folks still stay asleep? Because again, Emmett Till wasn't the only one. They was doing this shit regularly to black folks. That was just the one that took off. That wasn't the first story that T.R.M. Howard helped get exposed. That wasn't the first proverbial lynching that was... Hell, Ida B. Wells had a whole publication talking about what was going on with black folks down in the South in the 1930s. Niggas didn't give a fuck. Niggas was listening to jazz, nigga. Nigga, we talking about the 30s? What? You got Louis Armstrong doing his thing. Nigga, you got Fats Waller playing that piano. Man, shit. You got the early days of the early days of Ellington and Basie going on. When Basie's on the radio in 1930s. Niggas wasn't trying to fight back, man. Just like niggas wasn't trying to fight back in 2001 when the Lakers went 15-1 in the NBA Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers. Only game they lost was game one when Allen Iverson sent the game into overtime because of a Robert Horry foul on Dikembe Mutombo that he shouldn't have made, which changed the momentum. Lakers were up like 7 with like a minute and 20 left in the game. That Robert Horry called that dumb foul. Allen Iverson hit like 7 straight points and the Lakers. Anyway, 2001 when Jay-Z was saying spend your money on bullshit, we was listening to that crap. When we was listening to Nelly and Chingy and all that spend your money and Diddy fuckboy era of hip hop. Reality TV shows were new. Everything was all about flossing and looking good. Rims was getting bigger and bigger. We wasn't giving a fuck about our liberation in 2001. I was there, I know. For you young niggas, y'all may not know. Then when 9/11 hit and them fucking towers fell, niggas was feeling hell of American. Niggas wasn't feeling black, we was feeling red, white, and blue. Let's come together to defeat these terrorists. That's what the fuck was going on in 2001, nigga. 2006. Our biggest concern in 2006 was the death of hip-hop. When Nas dropped Hip Hop Is Dead. I love that song. Some people dreaming. How you a man waiting for the next man to get rich? You playing this to stick out your hand real quick? So if you can serve your family and he serves you shit, then he needs a hand you get and he deserves your bitch. I think that's where Nas' line went. I love that part. I love that song. But our biggest concern, the biggest news in 2006 was, is hip hop is dead? Is hip hop dead? That was our biggest concern. Our biggest concern in 2011 was the death of auto-tune. That's just where we were. But Trayvon Martin did something to us. You know? Eric Garner did something to us. You know? Sandra Bland, like, y'all don't think it's a deeper spiritual thing behind that? So on a larger level, maybe Carolyn Bryant lived out her role. As evil as that role was. Everybody has that role to play. So maybe she played her role. Now, in her playing her role, I don't have any compassion for her. I don't. Fuck her. I hope she died. I hope she spent the last 55 years in miserable pain. I pray to God that she had a sciatica issue. I hope she has a sciatica problem and gallstones. And I hope she got kidney stones every third year. And every 3 years, she was pissing out kidney stones. That's what I hope. So I don't have any compassion for the bitch. I don't have any love for the bitch. But maybe that bitch was born to be that bitch. For a greater good. And maybe Emmett Till had to die to wake up a nation. Maybe. I don't know the answer. I'm not saying this is for certain. This is just a point of view that I'm just trying to, discuss. It's just a point of view. Ain't that what Bootsy Collins say? I'm just another point of view. I'm just a reflection of you. The world can't turn me against you. Go listen to Bootsy Collins, Another Point of View. It's just another point of view. Hey, Quan, you was living in Vegas in 2006? I was spending a lot of time in Vegas in the 2000s. Yeah, enemies have a purpose. Look, opposition is there to make you stronger, to make you who you are. When I read cards, I look right. All I gotta do is, when I read your Mars card, your Mars card tells me where all your surface level challenges are. And that's usually where people get stuck. They get stuck on the surface level. Mars tells me what's hard for you to do. And then Jupiter tells me what your reward looks like for doing it. What you'll get out of it, how you'll grow. And then when I get to your Saturn card, those are your deeper challenges. Those are the challenges that really matter. Those are the ones your Mars challenges you can get through. It's them Saturn challenges that get to be tough. And then when I get to your Pluto challenges, most of you niggas ain't willing to face your Pluto. Y'all not willing to face what's really deep down inside your ass, because what's down in your Pluto card is bullshit your mommy and your daddy taught you that you thought was right. And if you face that, or your preacher or your religion or whatever, and if you face that challenge, it's gonna fuck up your whole paradigm. So most of you niggas ain't willing to address Pluto challenges. Nigga, everybody got challenges. Yeah, it's no way in hell I could live in Vegas. I don't see how these niggas move to Vegas. Well, I do because of renting sheep. They trying to send every nigga they can to Vegas. Look at this shit. They are trying to send every nigga they can to Vegas. Nigga, they done sent the minute the Raiders went to Vegas, I said, okay, that's about to be nigga town. And then they turned around and sent the Oakland Athletics to Vegas. That's how you know that's about to be nigga town. They relocated Oakland to Vegas. Nigga, that's how you know. They said, okay, yeah, we about to move all these niggas to Vegas. And the minute all you niggas move to Vegas, they're gonna shut Lake Mead off and they're gonna be water rationing y'all asses. Move to Vegas if you want to. You niggas about to be on water rations. The A's are about to move. Sorry, my microphone. I had to take my microphone out so I can roll another blunt. Incense and ashtrays. Hey, Quan, I'm gonna be back on Incense and Ashtrays real soon. I got all these shows. Oaktown. Oh yeah, yes, it's already in place. It's just the screws are just gonna get tighter. The screws are just gonna get tighter in Vegas year by year. Hey, I'm over here being rude right now in the house. This nigga Larry over here knocked the fuck out, and I'm talking. Fuck that nigga. What's up, DeAndre Mosley? I ain't seen you in the chat room in a minute, brother. Yeah, you're right. It's gonna be a repeated Flint. It's gonna be a repeated Flint in the next 5 years. Quan said, wake that nigga up.
Nah, Quan, I had Larry literally, he had like an early morning flight to LA. He didn't sleep the whole night before. He didn't sleep the whole night before. And when he got to LA, I had that nigga all across the city. And we microdosed on some mushrooms, so that nigga was up. That nigga Larry was awake for like 36 hours in a straight. So he laying here trying to get some rest. And I'm talking, disturbing his rest. Fuck that nigga's rest. That's why I'm in here talking, rolling his blunt. Now, when I'm done rolling this blunt, I'm gonna get back out there on the porch. But nah, fuck that nigga rest. That nigga could stay awake for 36 more hours if all I care. As long as he's sharp for the show tomorrow, I'll go fuck what this nigga do. But good news, y'all. I'm like I said, my metaverse show is coming real soon. Yes, it's coming. He said no rest for the wicked. He said Larry wears feelers. Nah. Larry has like the dopest Jordan collection you'd ever want to see, y'all. No cap. Fuck that nigga. He weak as shit. But that nigga Larry's like Nike in general, but specifically Jordans. This nigga Larry got all these. This nigga got every pair of damn Jordans, like every color, dog. This nigga Larry got like, every time I see Larry, he got like 4 new pair of Jordans. Nah, Tasha, I'm not gonna be nice to him. You don't deserve it. Nope. Can't be nice to Larry. Nah, not happening. But yeah, but like back to what we're talking about, we're gonna still talk about it more on a spiritual level. We're gonna talk about it more on a spiritual level. Hold on. Let me. I think he has that, Quan. But nah, this nigga, Larry, no. I'm telling y'all, I never owned the first pair of Jordans I ever got. Larry gave to me. I got like, I've only bought like two, maybe 3 pair of Jordans. 2. I have like 10 pair of Jordans. I only bought 2. Shit, nigga Larry hooked me up with the rest of them hoes. This nigga be getting all kind of hookups on shit. All right. Microphones in. Hold on. There we go. All right. It depends on which ones. Jordan 1s are not comfortable. I got some of those Baron Jordan 1s, the gray and black ones, and I don't wear them. They're not comfortable. But my Jordan 11s, the 3s aren't comfortable. But my Jordan 11s are extremely comfortable. Oh, yeah. Them Jordan 11s, them hoes is comfortable. Shit. I could walk all day in them Jordan 11s. And
my Jordan 13s. I could walk all day in them 13s too. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Y'all get the right one. Nah, I didn't watch that movie by Air Jordans. I know the story already. I don't need the movie. I've been knowing the Jordan story for like well over 20 years. Like my wife, her old fancy ass, my fancy wife, she graduated from Duke. And when she was at Duke, David Falk, Michael Jordan's agent, came and like did a lecture in one of her classes and told the whole story. And like she gave me like, remember, this is back when she was still in college. She called me and was like, hey, we just had a class in David Falk, and he told us the whole story behind Michael Jordan. And I know it's a couple white guys I know. One was like an executive at Adidas, and another was an executive at Converse at the time. Converse. And the executive at Converse that I know, his name is Greg. If y'all follow me on Facebook, well, Greg don't really be on Facebook anymore. Anyone who was like a Facebook friend of me like 10 years ago, you probably know who Greg is. We still Facebook friends, but he just doesn't do Facebook anymore. He told me he just like it's too much drama and shit. He's one of those white dudes that ain't he not really with the bullshit. And when Trump got in office, a lot of his white friends turned on him, and he just was like, you know what? Let me just get off social media, you know? But he used to tell me all the game. He the one that told me about the white biker gangs in the Malibu and the white surfer gangs in the Palisades and in Palos Verdes. Well, Greg was an executive at Converse, and he told me he was there. He was actually Magic Johnson's rep, and he was there when Nike had approached Magic, and Nike approached Magic. Magic said no. He stuck with Converse. So they had to create this thing. They had to go with the second choice was Michael Jordan. I remember even David Falk telling me, and I've told this story before that movie. I didn't even watch the movie, so I don't even know what's in the movie. I just know what happened because of David Falk. They basically took Michael Jordan. You don't find many interviews of him post-college, his rookie year, second year. You don't really start to see Michael Jordan interviewing again until about 1986, regularly. But 84, 85, he didn't really interview much. They were changing his dialect from a southern South Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina dialect to a Chicago dialect. Because for those of you, anyone who studied broadcasting, you know that standard English is considered to be English as spoken in Chicago. So it's just coincidental he played for the Chicago Bulls. Whatever team he played with, he would have been trained to speak as they speak in Chicago, because Chicago is where radio first took off. Not New York, Chicago. Chicago was like the hub of radio. So since Chicago is the hub of radio, standard English is usually considered English is spoken in Chicago. History lesson for you niggas. So I learned that shit in college. My comm studies professor, my speech professor taught me that one. Miss Nancy, she was one. That was the best professor I ever had. Miss Nancy Grass-Hamer, Santa Monica College. Well, anyway, so Jordan was a contrived thing that they created, a marketing scheme. And they used that shoe as a marketing scheme to promote the NBA. And they came out with some false narrative saying he's the greatest player of all time, which he's not. Isaiah Thomas whooped his ass 3 times, so that alone, should that make Isaiah? Well, that's another story. Back to what we're talking about. I'm sure, DeAndre, I'm sure that movie's going to be loaded with alternative facts. I'm sure. So Carolyn Bryant, on a spiritual level, maybe she was brought here to live out an evil mission. That's how I look at it. Not saying I'm right, not saying you're wrong. It's just my perspective. Dominique Wilkins dusted Jordan a lot, and Jordan dusted Dominique Wilkins a lot. Their exchanges during the 80s were far more even than revisionist history would have you guys think. I used to watch those games back in 1988, 1989 on WGN and TNT. Dominique Wilkins gave to Jordan just as much as Jordan gave to Dominique Wilkins. Jordan was not like so dominant over Dominique Wilkins that, oh. You didn't see separation between Jordan and Dominique Wilkins until Jordan got Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson, and then Horace Grant, and great shooters like John Paxson and B.J. Armstrong, and he got a well-balanced team around him. And Dominique Wilkins had Doc Rivers and Kevin Willis, good players, but not quite Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant and Dennis Rodman. Not quite. You know, Dominique Wilkins didn't get placed in the same environment as Jordan. So Jordan got placed in a more eco-friendly environment. So of course he took off. His environment was better. His team was better. And then Dominique Wilkins messed his knee up, and that, for the most part, in effect, ended his career. Now, he did have some good numbers stat-wise after the knee injury, but he wasn't much difference on impact of the game. Those Celtic years and, oh my God, the Clipper years. He put up some good numbers with the Celtics, but I remember watching those games in 92 and 93. He wasn't scary like he was in 88. 88, 89, 90, Dominique Wilkins. He scared the fuck out of you every time he stepped on that court. I remember he used to give my Lakers a business. He used to tear the Lakers up. Yeah. And there was somebody that was in my inbox on Instagram telling me that I guess that dude Professor Cologne that Tariq talked about a couple weeks ago. Somebody's in my inbox saying that guy wants to debate me. Look, y'all, don't come to my inbox with that bullshit. If that Professor Cologne dude really wants to talk to me, he can reach out to me directly. Dudes, don't be that. I don't know what. Do y'all like watch his video or something? And like why? It's been like a couple dudes in my Instagram inbox telling me that he wants to debate me. Like, if that dude wants to debate me, he knows how to get in contact with me. My shit's right there on my YouTube page, my Instagram, my email address, all that shit's up there. So if You know, and plus, furthermore, I'm not really into debate. I don't like debate. I'm not into debate because I'm a real debater. I did college debate, and some guy who calls himself a doctor, I don't know if he's rhetorically ready for what I do. Because I'm going to call out every red herring. I'm going to call out every false equivalence. I'm going to ask for scientific data points, points of knowledge, multiple points of reference, physical, sonically, on all different levels. And I don't necessarily feel like, no, if I got time for all that shit. Why would I debate somebody on Black history? That's another thing. For the people inboxing me that bullshit, why do you want to see a debate, nigga? Just look that shit up yourself. God damn. It ain't nothing I say that y'all can't look up. Other than when I tell you about my personal stories of being with artists. And that's one thing these motherfucking people trying to claim our history can't do. They ain't got nobody in their own bloodline that's made legendary music that's gonna live forever. They got friends and people that they know may have done that, but they don't have somebody that they can call or they can go see any day of the week because that's family that's made any impact on music. They don't have that. I do. So that stuff isn't in books, but everything else I say, you can look all that shit up. You know? Yeah. Seeking clout. Okay, yeah. Another reason why I don't like debate, because most people who watch debates just want to be entertained. They don't want to be informed. Most people who be like when I be watching Side Netter's channel, and I will never in a million years speak ill of Side Netter TV. Even though I don't, and Side Netter, even though I've never met him, I don't know him, I don't even watch his channel no more. I can't tell you the last time I've seen a Side Netter video. Because they debate all the goddamn time. You know what I mean? I'm not with that. But there's like, you know, I know people are into that kind of stuff. But when I listen to these people who watch those debates on Side Netter TV, I really be asking myself, what did you learn? Because people listen to me talk and they see what kind of information I'm into, and they'll just, I guess, automatically think I'm down to get abreast on what happened in the most recent debate, and I'm not. And when I be listening to these niggas talk that watch these debates, I be really asking myself, what did this person learn? So then one day I had to finally draw the conclusion, these people don't come to these debates and watch these debates to learn. They're just looking for some entertainment. I don't know if I want to invest time in people who just looking for entertainment. But I would do it, but it's just like, it's not interesting to me. Debating these people, that's just not interesting to me. I don't see the constructive result out of that. Both sides are going to walk away feeling how they felt walking into the debate. You know? But yeah, Carolyn, what do you mean what else did I think, Boom? Carolyn bitch Bryant. Rest in dog shit. I hope the maggots have already started eating her from the inside. Come on, maggots. I know y'all in there. Eat away. Eat away. Now's the time. You see the way that bitch look, you know she got maggots. You know? And there's nothing wrong with like it being entertained by debate. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't be entertained by debates. Man, whatever floats your boat. If debates entertain you, look, this is the way I see it. The shit that goes on YouTube, no matter how extreme people may perceive it to be, I think it's better than what's going on network TV and then like do regular mainstream movies where every third scene is two dudes man kissing and they have dysfunctional families that they celebrate dysfunctionality. So I think whatever you watch on YouTube I think it's better than what's curated through ABC. I'll tell you that much. That's what I gotta say to y'all. Yeah, political debate that affects your life if you're trying to figure out one person's ideals next to the next. That's cool. But, you know, whatever floats your boat. Whatever you watching on YouTube, I guarantee you is better for your mind than anything that you can watch on Fox. Now I'm tired as hell. I got a show tomorrow at the Comedy Chateau. Y'all niggas need to come. May 26th in Dallas. Get your tickets to that too, nigga. I need you to remember this. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Look at things on a bigger level. You know, it's cool to see things on a straight day-to-day mundane level. We have to see things that way because we live here on Earth. We don't live in a spiritual, esoteric world. We live on Earth. We have to see things from an earthly perspective. But we also know that there's a spiritual world and a spiritual perspective on a higher level. And you are both at the same time. We're both spiritual beings and human beings at the same time. The key to life is to balance the two. Use your spirituality to empower your earthly being. Your spirit is what empowers you here on Earth. All right? Y'all get it? And thank y'all for listening. Carolyn Bryant was an evil bitch, but maybe she was incarnated here to be an evil bitch. All right? Y'all have a good one.